analysis. We welcome you, sir, and we're very fortunate that you are taking our first session. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And I would like to share my screen. I hope that my screen is visible to all.
Sir, it is visible. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, it's a delight to see such a mega event. I will call it mega event when the entire country is participating, 50 premium institutes and uh, almost all states are being represented here. Many congratulations to Dr. Prabhat and his team. Great job. Awesome. And it was very much needed during these times. This is a very much needed event. Data had never become so important in past, never become so important. I must tell you that my retail shop from where we purchase grocery or some vegetables, just a 5 step away. So now he is maintaining records of phone numbers, names, addresses of his customers. Earlier, he had never done that. And then when I saw him that he is noting down the phone numbers and addresses, then I am able to relate that now he is going to rely on data. So a common vendor, small shop, has now realized that data is important, and without having the data, he will not be able to survive. So this small example, and this is telling us that, oh my God, data has really become too much important, too much important. So once again, many congratulations to Dr. Prabhat and Usha madam and his team. And good morning, participants. Hats off to you that you all decided to learn and participate during these 5 days. And this is not a 2-hour per day FDP. This is quite significant, almost a full day engagement. So a lot of learning is going to be there. That is truly superb, truly superb. I could see that there are around 100 plus participants. Fair enough. My God, big number, huge number, 100 participants. Great. One thing why we should learn. And this gentleman, Henry Ford, he had changed the entire world. The world which we are seeing now or experiencing now. Long back it was changed, and the first turning point in the world was this T model, Ford's T model, which had revolutionized the entire world when we entered into mass production. This is the first significant change when the mass production or line production, those things were introduced. Big event. And I believe that it is somewhere around 1910 or 1905, something like that. So almost 100 years old quote is being mentioned here by Henry Ford. And see what Henry Ford had mentioned almost 100 years before is so valid now, even after 100 years. So valid. And he says, and we all, students, faculties, everyone, we need security. We need security from Corona. We need security from financial distress. We need social security. We need democratic security. We need security. And where the security lies, and see, my God, what he had written is amazing. If we think that money in the bank or money in the purse is giving us independence and security, we are wrong. Because whatever is the amount of money is going to be reduced. The only thing in this world is a reserve of knowledge. My God, what Henry Ford had written. Reserve of knowledge, experience and ability. So experience will come by time and ability will come when you practice your knowledge. But the core thing is reserve of knowledge. And these 120 faculties have decided that they will acquire more knowledge. So hats off to you all. You all are different. There are many faculties, many students or many participants who are sleeping by this time or doing their routine work. You had decided that you will come out from your comfort zone. You will avail the opportunity, golden opportunity at this time, 5 full days FDP, which is very much uncommon. Nowadays, it is only 2 hours per day FDPs. I am watching since last 2 years. This is really a good thing that we are going to engage participants and going to give so much during the coming 5 days. So great. Remember, reserve of knowledge is the key. And the more knowledgeable you become, more important you will become, more value you will have for yourself, and the more value you can share around you, wherever you are. If you're a faculty, wonderful. If you're a manager, great. Your knowledge will definitely being shared with others, and then as a whole, the society will be benefited. So great thing. We are learning new things. My God. I think 5th September, Ushaji, 5th September is the Teachers' Day now. 5th September.
Yes, sir.
So one on WhatsApp, one joke came. Corona symbol was there, and one person was doing namaste to the symbol and saying that tum bhi kam guru nahi ho, Corona. You are also a great teacher, and Corona had taught us many things. Dr. Manu was mentioning about soft skills. I had attended one small workshop at soft skills during this time, during this online culture. And when Dr. Manu was explaining about soft skills, I was able to recall, and that day I had learned 2 things. So, which are very much relevant now. Number one, it goes without saying that in online session, you need to be on time. So you need to be 5 minutes before, at least before the key person or before the topmost person. So it's a manner. It's a etiquette. If you are joining late, you're not doing a good thing. So just note down. Don't practice it here. Practice everywhere. Wherever you are called for the meeting, you should be there before the chairperson or before the top people. This falls into etiquettes, mannerism, number one. Number two, if you receive a call from your boss or from your higher ups, and if you are saying that, hello, this is ill manner. This is not a good manner. Your seniors and your tops phone numbers should be saved in your mobile, and you're expected to see that who is calling you. If he's your boss or if he's your senior, then you need to say, good morning, sir. Not like that, hello. So this I had learned from that workshop, that these small things are very much important. Another third thing which we need to learn during these new normal times. Whenever you are participating in a e-meeting, don't leave the meeting before the chairperson or before the topmost person leaves the meeting. What we have observed, the moment it is declared that the meeting is off and the meeting is over, immediately people started leaving the room or leaving the meeting much before the key person leaves the hall or leaves the meeting. Mind it, somebody is noticing it. And it is again ill manner if you leave the meeting before the key person leaves the meeting. So these are the new things. We never notice that these things will become important. But slowly these new mannerisms or new etiquettes have to be learned. I'm sorry that I have deviated a little bit, but I was able, when Dr. Manu was mentioning that soft skills are very important, then I thought that, okay, I must share my new learnings, and surely it would be appropriate at this forum. So we need to continuously learn new things. That is there. What to learn? We have decided that we will learn. And that's why you all are here, 124 persons across the country. So what to learn? So we should, because we need to make ourselves relevant in the market. So we should learn which is very much connected to or very much needed in the current time or going to be important in the coming future. If you learn that, you will gain more importance and you will become more relevant. And I wanted to share this post. This is recent, last month, in the month of June itself. Singapore tech is booming. It does not have enough talent. My God, when I read this news, I had taken the screenshot and I had shared with my few nears and dears that see what is happening. And the left top is saying, this is proving to be a big opportunity for India and Indians. My God, students, please note this left top. This is going to be a big opportunity for India and Indians. And I would like to mention that this is Singapore. This is just a tip of iceberg, just a tip of iceberg. If it is happening in Singapore, definitely it is happening or going to happen in Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Brazil, Argentina, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, USA, Canada. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And this indicates that analysis of data is the prime mover or is the focus or is the skill set or is the knowledge area where we need to make our students better so that they become relevant. And as a faculty, we should decide that we should learn this particular skill set. Data is everywhere. Nowadays, you cannot imagine your life without Zomato and Swiggy. As you all know, I'm delivering this session from Bangalore and I'm located in Bangalore. And unfortunately, during the pandemic time or during the last 3-4 months, Bangalore was among the top news. It was very badly hit in the month of May. And it was as far as state-wise comparison is concerned. So Karnataka is next to Maharashtra, and within Karnataka, I do not know what happened to Bangalore. Bangalore was almost 50% of the share of the entire Karnataka story. Small city as compared to a state, Bangalore, but shouldering or contributing 50% of the problem. So during the pandemic time, I heard the name Danzo. One day I wanted a book on Hadley Wickham, ggplot2. I wanted to do some visualizations, and ggplot2 is the #1 library in the world. And I had purchased that book some 3 years before, and I wanted, and we were not allowed to come out from our home. We all were forced to work from home. I wanted that book. So I coordinated with our office, and our office person said, don't worry, I am calling Danzo. And first time I came to know that there is something of, the name is very funny, Danzo. There is something like that. And within 2 hours, the book was at my doorstep. So and Zomato, Swiggy. So you are ordering food, you are couriering small things. All these things are happening around us. We are experiencing all these things. And all these things are data driven, GPS driven. Data is required for executing all these things. We do not know what is happening at the back end, but at the back end, analysis of the data and conclusion of the analysis is being utilized for the business. Banks, we all know that we have not gone to bank. I have not gone to my branch office. I do not know where is the branch of my bank where the salary comes. I do not know. I never visited. If I tell to someone, now people will accept that, yes, possible. I don't know where is the branch where my salary comes. I really don't know. And this is the status that banking is now happening without physical contact, without seeing each other, without all those things which were beyond imagination, say 15 years before, when we used to go to bank for withdrawing money. It needs, and bank needs precise data. All those functioning are happening purely because bank is having data and bank is able to use new technologies. Data is everywhere. Here, one thing I would like to mention, because I also had a different understanding of the data somewhere around 15 years before. To me, 15 years before, data was only one Excel sheet. Data means a Excel sheet. There will be some rows and there will be some columns. And this is data. And now the definition of data is changed. And data is this, what you are seeing on the screen. Data is from Twitter. All tweets which are coming are a type of data. Data is from WhatsApp. All those WhatsApp messages are data. Emails are data. Facebook, a data. Images, image of ocean, image of earth, image of sky, image of mountains. All these are data. If we have good relevant pictures of ocean, someone can analyze and predict whether tsunami will come or not. Or based on the picture, someone can predict that this is going to happen. So pictures are data. Pictures are data. Many people still do not able to conceptualize that, oh, pictures can be data. Songs or voice is a data. In Bangalore, 2 years before, Bangalore's police commissioner, Bhaskar Raoji, he contacted us and wanted to develop an algorithm or a mechanism or a system for analyzing the phone calls which Bangalore police is collecting on every minute basis to figure out that which messages or which phone calls are suspicious for controlling the crime. So voice analysis is falling under the umbrella of data analysis. And you see, crime can be controlled by having right voice analytic systems. And our team is working with the department, and we are developing the mechanisms and the systems so that we can analyze those phone calls and figure out which are suspicious, which are normal. Movies are data. Movies are data. And movies means videos. Video analytics is a very, very interesting branch or very interesting field. And I have put the picture. I think that everyone knows, youngsters knows, she is Shakira. And this is Waka Waka. This is a very thrilling dance, my God, related to World Cup football. And when this song was there, it creates tremendous energy in the hall, and everybody is very much thrilled and feel the energy inside when anyone sees and listens this particular song. Movie, I couldn't find a good poster or a good shot to display on my slide, which was this William Smith or Smith William, whatever is his name. And the movie's name is The Pursuit of Happiness. And you can very easily observe that just below this, I had mentioned this part, Thursday, 8th July 21, 2 p.m. I have noted down this in my calendar. And can anyone guess what is on 8th July, Thursday, 21, 2 p.m.? Anyone from the audience? Including coordinators? Anyone? Vinay? Ushaji? Anyone? What is on 8th July 21, Thursday, 2 p.m.?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Hello, what is there? I'm not able to, Ushari, I'm not able to hear.
Sir, I'm saying I'm not aware. I'm sorry for that.
You're not aware, Veena. Good. Ushaji,
Same here, sir. Same here.
Ushaji,
Also not knowing this, so sorry.
Ushaji, are you able to recall the importance of 8 July, Thursday, 2 p.m.?
No.
So we all are in search of happiness. We all are in search of happiness. Huh? Am I correct? And on that day, our great leader and motivator, Dr. Prabhat, is going to enlighten all of us about happiness management. My God, such a very much needed event, a very much needed session. We all are in search of happiness, in pursuit of happiness. Why we are studying, why we are learning, why we are taking so much of pain just for becoming happy. And now we have realized that if you have to choose money or happiness, now this corona had taught us, boss, happiness is more important. Money, I'm not bothered about money, but if I have to prefer from money and happiness, I will go for happiness. But how to remain happy and how to become happy in these current difficult times, a very much needed session. Very much needed session. And I would like to register my special thanks to coordinators and to Dr. Prabhat for having this session in the entire FDP. I have noted down this, and I'm sharing this information with my good friends also, and I will share this information with them that at least please come and attend this session because it is very much needed. Prabhaji, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. We are doing this session on 8th July. And you are invited. You are invited in that session, sir.
I had mentioned Thursday, 8th July. It is very much important, very much. Kindly participants, note down this date. I think this is going to be the best event in the entire FDP because we all are in search of happiness. We all are in search of happiness. And that day we will learn what is the meaning of happiness. How can we become happy during these tough times? Great. So data is like this, and data is everywhere. Everywhere. See, we are around WhatsApp. WhatsApp is now, I think that it is the unofficial language or unofficial mails. Without WhatsApp, we cannot imagine our official work even. We just cannot imagine. WhatsApp is so important. In the morning, we get up and we just pick the mobile and see that what are the WhatsApp messages which somebody had posted after midnight or early morning. So WhatsApp is now our life, and WhatsApp messages are data. Facebook, Google Analytics. 8 years before, 10 years before, Google Analytics was a fashion. If you know Google Analytics, wonderful. If you do not know, no problem. Now every business, every organization is on website. The website has become very important thing. Website of any organization. Very, very important. Very, very important. Forget retailers, forget Amazon, forget Zomato, forget any other thing. Even bank's website is important. Institute's website is important. A hospital's website is important. And how to optimize a website. Now this is a skill where our students should be good. So Google Analytics, which was probably the first major thing when the analytics took off, then Google Analytics was talked a lot and it was the first major thing. Then now Google Analytics is very much required, very much required. And it is, I could see that it is part of many syllabuses or many curriculums around the world. Marketing, many faculties are from marketing management domain because it's probably the most popular field. The entire marketing management has to be data driven. Now, 10 years before, 15 years before, consumer behavior could have been taught by Philip Kotler by the example given in the book. But now it will not work. Now we need to have the real data, real-time data related to consumer behavior, and students need to be explained with the right analysis of consumer behavior data. So the entire marketing management, entire marketing theories are to be explained with data. Else this course will have no relevance. You call 7 Ps, you call 8 Ps, you call 12 Ps, you call 14 Ps, 15 Ps, 240 Ps. But without data, if you're explaining one single P, it is not having any importance, any relevance, and nobody will be able to understand what this P is. So it has to be data driven. It has to be data driven. Marketing management. Financial management, since beginning, financial management means balance sheet and profit and loss account. Data was there. But now those data is to be critically examined. Whether there are any fraudulent activities or fraudulent transactions, or is there any special thing which we should observe? Audit reports analysis. So financial management is now needing analysis in a big way. Human resource management. 15 years before, I recall, my faculty colleagues used to tell me, boss, I had chosen HR because I don't like numbers or I'm afraid of numbers. So there was a clear-cut bifurcation. If you don't like numbers, HR. Many students also say that as I'm not good in numbers or I'm afraid of numbers, so I'm picking HR. And since last, and this I have mentioned many times, the first book on HR analytics I had seen at Jaipuria Institute, Jaipur, some 3-4 years before. When first time I was there, and Prabhat sir took me to library, and in the library, I saw HR analytics. Oh my God, first time I was seeing a book, almost 3 years before. And I had requested sir to give me this book so that I can take and then study. And then I had written this book after a week or something like that. HR analytics. Now this is a common thing. If HR students are not able to analyze data related to human resources management, my God, they will not be appreciated. And in simple terms, industry will not have place for them. Just knowing Maslow's hierarchy of need or leadership styles theoretically, it will not work nowadays. It will not work. You need to have data. You need to analyze that data, and you need to connect the evidences or the outcome or the conclusions of the leadership theories, motivational theories, or HR related principles, show through data, then only it will work. Operations management, again, full of data. Healthcare management, my God. Healthcare, during this pandemic time, probably the most important thing was healthcare. And healthcare management, ambulance management, n number of things, the queuing model, operations research concepts. There are so many things which have become so much important in the coming time, which were not that much important before. Operations management was popular during wartime, World War II and World War I. And during this pandemic, operations management became again very important, very important. Again, data driven. Farming, agriculture, which land, which area, so much of analysis is there. So much of deep learning is required and is being applicable. So even in farming, analysis is required. Tourism, I believe, very soon, tourism will come back, and then tourism management is going to be one important thing. Again, it's data driven. Now come to the point. All faculties and students are by and large good at SPSS. I'm very much sure. 15 years before, knowing SPSS was a great thing. Out of 10, only one faculty was knowing SPSS, 15 years before. Now, if you take the current status, out of 15, I think 16 are knowing SPSS. SPSS is unavoidable, irrespective of HR, irrespective of marketing. Everyone knows SPSS. And SPSS is a point and click software. then why we should go for coding? Many faculties ask this, that we know SPSS. Why we need to learn coding-based methods? The reason is this, which I have shown you. There are two reasons. Number one, SPSS is not free, which is the biggest reason. SPSS is not free. So many organizations are not able to afford SPSS. And the price of SPSS is high, is very high. So there is a shift from priced softwares to open softwares, which are freely available. So that is reason number one. Reason number two, which is very important, you cannot do voice analytics with SPSS. You cannot do video analytics with SPSS. If you want to do text mining or text analytics, and I should mention one thing, that 80% of the world data is not numbers. It's not numbers. We have a notion that data means numbers, means Excel sheet. More than 80% of the data which is being generated on a daily basis are not numbers. They are either voice or videos or pictures or images or text, and largely text data. Now, if you want to do if you want to analyze text data through SPSS, your IBM SPSS statistics will not be able to do that. Then you need SPSS modeler, or you need special add-ons with regard to SPSS. Again expensive. Again expensive. How you will afford? So you need something which is freely available, and you can utilize those things for your analysis. This is the major reason that you should learn coding, so that you can analyze these type of things. Maybe today it is not in your plan that you will do something on voice analytics, or you will do something on image analytics, or you will do something on video analytics. But who knows? Tomorrow you will take up a good project related to your domain, and at that time you will think, oh my God, if I would have learned video analytics or voice analytics 6 months before, I could have delivered this project very nicely, or I could have done this analysis very nicely, or a very good case study could have been executed. So this is the time. This is the time when we need to plan ahead, that what we are going to do after 6 months or 8 months or 9 months or 12 months. We need to start learning those things now. Now, so this is the primary reason that we need to learn codes. Now here I would like to mention that there is a clear-cut difference between a programmer, a coder, and we faculties who are going to learn coding for the purpose of analysis. There is a clear-cut difference. And the difference is, a programmer and a coder is primarily a computer science professional who will create programs. We are not going to design programs. We are not going to design programs. We need to make a histogram, and histogram is known to everyone. So that's why I have shown you. A histogram is there. We need to make histogram. Definitely one programmer had designed a program for making histogram. We are not required to do that. It's not our job to design a program of histogram. Program is already made. We need to only write 2-3 words and the histogram should be prepared. And for that purpose, I had shown you here. And I have made one slide, and the topic of the slide is, let's see and believe. And I would like to show you this. This is one software, very popular. This is R Studio. And now see how much time it takes to make histogram. So I will write, first I will delete the plot. So I have deleted. And now I am going to write HIST. See, watch very carefully. Some prompt is coming. Some prompt is coming. So you are not alone. Some support system is working with you. The support system is telling that, are you looking this? Or are you looking this? Or are you looking this? We are looking this. And we need to write the name of the data. The name of the data is there. And then the name of the variables are there. And I will pick age and execute. See, the plot is there. It takes only 3 seconds. 3 seconds. We need to learn only this much. We need not to be a programmer. We don't want to be called a coder. No, that is not the aim. That is not the aim. That is not the aim. We need to learn only these 3 words. HIST stands for histogram, data file name, and the variable name. And if you have carefully observed, I'm going to do it again so that you can have that comfort that, oh, it works very well. See, the moment I have written only 3 letters, it is prompting that, Vinod, are you searching this? And I will pick HIST. Then I need to write the file name, my data file name. After that, the moment I will put $, oh my God, all the variable names are being appeared there. So easy, so simple. I need not to remember or memorize that in my data file. There are 123 columns. I should memorize all 123 columns. No, not required. And as I'm interested in age, so I will write and then control enter and the plot is there. If I have to color it, so easy. I will write color is equal to, and I will write red. And see, this is red color. So easy. So my dear faculties, my dear students, if you have that blockedness that, oh my God, coding is going to be difficult, we cannot learn. No, it's going to be very easy. And after making this plot, you wish to take this plot to your report? Yes, you can. Export, clip to clipboard, copy plot. Take your plot wherever you want to. Here is the plot. So again, in 3 seconds, your plot is being copied and pasted wherever you want it to. So these things are very easy. And I've given you the demo for your confidence that those who are new for coding or new to learn these softwares for the purpose of analysis should have the confidence that these things are very easy, very easy. I have shown you. And I was very happy that Dr. Mary is going to take one session and she is going to explain you Python. And it is really wonderful that you all are going to understand Python. Why? Because Python is by default an AI language, artificial intelligence language. And R and Python, or even now the world is moving towards Julia. So R, Python, Julia, SAS, all are same like. You learn one language and the rest will be very easy. It is like Tamil and Malayalam or Kannada and Telugu. So you learn Tamil. Once you are good in Tamil, you will be able to understand Malayalam or you'll be able to understand any South Indian language. Only in Malayalam, water is called, Dr. Anurag sir is sipping water and smiling. So in Malayalam, water is called Vellam, and in Tamil, it is called Tanni. That's it. I'm very much sure that there are many who are from Kerala and from Tamil Nadu. They know that Vellam and Tanni. So that's it. That's it. So only few things will change once the concepts are understood. How to execute or how to use R or Python or SAS or Julia, your life will be very much comfortable and easy. There is one, and it is good that in this FDP, this is planned that one particular session or Python. I'm very much sure that in 2 hours time or 3 hours time, a introductory session can be delivered, or at least audience can start learning. So that is one very good thing. Please don't miss that particular session. Then there is one thing which is planned in this FDP. My God, whosoever had designed the curriculum of this FDP, my sincere regards and appreciation to that particular person. All those relevant technologies and relevant tools and methods have been covered very intelligently. One is SQL. Now, SQL, I would like to mention, it is again a software which is used by banks or by every company, And it is the most easiest. And those who know something about SQL, they know that it is, the earlier name was SQL, S-E-Q or something like that. And in SQL, the letter E stands for English. This is a software which I don't know why it is called software. The commands are in simple English, and I'm showing you here some example. Create table, name of the table, what is going to be in the table, ID. ID is going to have some number, so integer. First name, the first name is a variable of character type. Character means words. And the length of the first name should be or can be up to 20. One simple line, it's like a plain English. Now your table is created. Insert means insert data or information into where this table, yeah. Value, what to insert? Value, what? ID, ID number 1. First name, test. What is the second data or second row? Insert into table name, values, ID, 2, first name, Sajini, show databases. This is SQL. And many of you are aware of that those who join banks or those who work in the organizations are using SQL right from day one. Even if they have not learned in their college. This is such an important thing. Without SQL, none of the organization or none of the executive can perform, because you need to extract data from their main data warehouse, and the popular method is MySQL. So it's going to be very interesting for those who are going to learn MySQL for the first time. Going to be a very interesting thing. Don't miss those sessions on MySQL. Tableau. This is something which is indispensable for a manager or for anyone who wishes to analyze data. So for a manager, he needs a dashboard where all the informations are quickly displayed to him so that he can analyze and can take decision. So this is a dashboard, and this is something mind-boggling. Maps from Tableau. See, it is really mind-boggling when you present these type of presentations to your audience. Everybody will look at it. Oh my God, what a wonderful information is being displayed. And I would like to show you that what we do in Bangalore, in front of our office, there is a hotel, Shangri-La Hotel, 5-star or 7-star hotel. So I had given the name Shangri-La on this data. And we have created hypothetical 20 data points. So name of the guests who stayed in the hotel, their gender, their country, their check-in date, check-in time, check-out date, check-out time, number of days they stayed, room number, type, deluxe or suite or deluxe or something like that. They were veg or non-veg. Their tariff are just hypothetical. Shangri-La's starting number should be around 7,000. So just tariff, total bill. And then what we do, we don't show this data to students, and we give them pictures. And the name of the case study is a storytelling exercise. So all those students, UG, particularly UG level students, we want to train them that if pictures are given to you, then you should be able to build a story. And then pictures we prepare through Tableau. And when students look at these type of pictures, so see, so there were 5 guests from China and they were non-vegetarian and they were male. There were these many from Australia, these many from USA. Amazing picturization. Tableau, through Tableau, you can mesmerize anyone. I will show you more pictures from Tableau. And really, when you play with Tableau, you'll feel that learning is really a fun. Really a fun. So this is the diagram which I had shown over there. See this plot. My God. And here is a icon, all point and click. Here no coding is required. So map, and you can have different varieties of maps. See, another category of map, another style. See, oh my God, amazing. See the plot. Oh. If you start learning Tableau, you will definitely fall in love with Tableau. Tableau is so great, so interesting, so wonderful. And it's easy, point and click, point and click, point and click. So easy. Few clicks and you will be able to have, this is your word cloud. Few clicks and you will be able to have your awesome plots. Very easy, and very interesting also. Easy and interesting as well. It's really wonderful that in our FDP program, Tableau has been included. Coming back to the coding part, many still have that feeling that coding might be difficult for me. If you are thinking in that direction, you're right. I was also thinking that probably I will not be able to learn coding. And you might be knowing this, that I am a mechanical engineer. I have never learned coding. I have seen laptop or desktop first time in my lifetime in 2005. I have seen before, but I was not allowed to use desktop or laptop. In 1991 or 92, something like that, there was only one desktop in the entire organization for MIS purpose. And we used to take out our shoes outside that room, and it was fully air conditioned. And there was only one person, Sukhendu Chakrabarti, who was in charge of that room. And he used to think that he is far better than, by no means he is inferior to managing director. That was his aura, because he was in charge of that particular desktop. I have seen laptop, or I have started using laptop in 2005 when my age was 40 years. And majority of you have started seeing or started using laptop at a much earlier age. And I had spent half of my professional life, almost 17 years, with workers, furnace, machine, iron, steel. My God, no coding and my professional life, 180 degree apart. If I can learn, anyone can learn. Anyone can learn. Look at this picture. This picture. This picture. Can anyone observe some speciality? Anyone from the audience? Anyone from the audience? Anyone from the audience, please? Open your mic and speak. This picture, this middle picture. I'm not looking at the chat.
Yeah, sir, very good morning.
Very good morning.
Yeah, before I answer, let me tell you, whatever you are speaking, we are loving it. We are enjoying it. I believe in this picture, the lady in the middle is very tall as compared to others.
Correct.
And they are not sitting height-wise. The arrangement is very haphazard, not at all chronological.
Correct. Great input, Dr. Archana ma'am. Great. Yeah, more input. Observe this picture. Dr. Archana had very nicely observed few things about this group photo. Come on.
Good morning, sir. Sir, here in the picture, all are of different ages and from different regions.
Correct.
Sir, may I?
Yeah, please.
So I guess female faculties are sitting in front and the male faculties are sitting in back side of the stage.
Very good. Awesome.
Sir, can I tell?
Yeah,
sir,
yeah,
good morning.
Very good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sir, there is no seat available for sitting.
Very good. Great.
So it's a one-day event for learning art.
Yeah, only one day.
Sir, I think females are sitting in the front and male are sitting and standing in the back.
Awesome.
Sir, I will say that, it's a geographical diversion we have. We have 4 southern states and one is Nepal, which is of course our neighbor country, but which is from north. So we have geographical diversity.
Very good. More observation.
Also, sir, one more thing. If we look at the picture, we can straight away get to know how many people attended the program. We can do the counting of how many people attended the program, and we can have a bifurcation of the male and female also over there. How many males and how many females.
Amazing analysis. Yeah, carry on.
So I have an observation that the person standing at the back left the central portion empty so that the banner can be visible, but actually the things written on the banner is not being.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Am I audible, sir?
Carry on. Yes.
Sir, this is a seminar for one day only, conducted on 24th May 2018. But in the same day you are teaching coding or whatever the organizer it is teaching coding. Is that mean that coding is not that much difficult? Something could be learned in a single day also.
Exactly correct.
Sir, I just want to contribute.
Yeah.
People wearing the tie are only 2 persons. The 2 male people are wearing the tie.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
These are 3 photos of you teaching some different sessions. You said you started learning coding only at the age of 40. So probably you want to drive a point to all of us that despite your age, you are teaching a generation probably which is younger to you, and coding is simple and everybody can learn coding. And as somebody mentioned, one of my participants mentioned, he said it is something that you can learn in 1 day's time. This is what I understood from the pictures. In all the pictures, we see you. So that's the common point.
Good, great. Now, because we are running short of time, so I would like to conclude and the important thing about this lady is she lost her left hand in one accident. This picture is 2018. So what happened and this is the view of the classroom. And this lady used to sit in the front row, somewhere here. And see, I was very much involved and trying to solve each one's problem. And after the lunchtime, soon after the lunchtime, I have not finished my lunch and I was having the plate in my hand. This lady came and then she shared that she is not having left hand. Believe me that my plate was about to fall down. And I was so much, almost shocked that a participant who was sitting in front of me here and for almost 4 hours before lunch, 4 hours. I was explaining things and they all were doing, and I couldn't observe. And I couldn't observe because she had covered her left hand with her dupatta very nicely. And I couldn't observe that she was typing the code with one hand only, that with this right hand. And then she shared that 4 years before, she met with an accident and truck tires rolled through her left arm. And a doctor tried to save her arm, but finally it was so badly crushed that the arm was to be amputed. Believe me, I was having tears in my eyes at that time. And I was just looking at her, and I was able to recall that in the last 4 hours of that particular day, she had learned almost everything, whatever I was trying to tell. And she was able to code everything without any difficulty. And she was a first timer who was learning this software. And my God, I said that, ma'am, you are really a true inspiration for all of us. And since then, if anybody asks me that, can I learn coding? I just look at the person's hands. And if that person is having minimum one hand, my answer is yes, we can. Irrespective of the background, irrespective of the age, irrespective of the gender, irrespective of the qualification, irrespective of the experience, irrespective of the location. And she is from commerce background, not from IT background. And she was the best learner of the batch. I'm still connected with her. In last 3 years, she had become fantastic. She has become better than me. And I sometimes invite her for a guest talk to my audience. And she's so much impressive by her success story and by her efforts that everybody gets inspired and at least that psychological fear is off, that can I learn coding or whether coding is difficult. I need your opinion. How is the story? How is the information which I had shared with you? Do you have the confidence that yes, we can, yes, we can? Yes, we should open the mic, everyone, and we should give a huge round of applause to this madam. I am clapping. Please, 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 please. Open your mic and give a big round of applause. Big round of applause. If she can learn from commerce background, yes, with one hand. And as a mannerism, we should not ask the age of a lady. So I had not asked, but I believe that she must be around 33, 35, something like that. So if at the age of 33, 35, with one hand, commerce background, if one person can be the best learner among the anyone can learn. Anyone can learn. Anyone can learn. Great. We are now having some 10, 12 minutes. So we have covered this, that SQL is very much needed. And yes, there is a session, 2-hour dedicated session, and feel the confidence that it is just like a plain English. Create table, blah, blah, name, and insert information, insert into table. And our students should know this so that when they go to bank or they go to industry, they should be able to use MySQL nicely. Tableau I had explained. This is very much important, particularly for students and particularly for faculties and particularly for researchers. This is something which we cannot ignore. We cannot ignore. And it's a huge topic. It's a huge topic. Huge in the sense, understanding these things it requires time to absorb the concepts of hypothesis testing. type 1 error, type 2 error, power of test, alpha, beta, confidence level, confidence interval, level of significance. My God. It was very much needed, very much needed. And again, I'm thankful to the organizers that they had thought very constructively and decided to have one dedicated session on hypothesis testing. Very much needed. And you all faculties and students, you should feel happy that you are getting a, this is something like bonus. You are getting a bonus type of thing that you are going to get a chance to revise your concepts with regard to hypothesis testing. Great. Regression, very much needed, very much needed. And I got a good, I found a good picture. So I had placed here that male life expectancy and female life expectancy on y-axis and x-axis. And this was drawn. Few things are very interesting here, that with regard to male and female life expectancy, China is better than us. UK, USA, Singapore, I am surprised how Monaco is better than all in terms of life expectancy. And these countries, Afghanistan is on very low side. I don't know why. Somalia, Zambia, Nigeria, Ethiopia, bound to be. So this is something which is very, very relevant. And it is mentioned in the, Usha madam, someone should look at the chat, and if there is any query for me, kindly read it. Because when I take a session, I don't look at the chat. Please, Vinay.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at it, sir. So far, there are no questions, sir.
If there is anything, then kindly let me know.
There is a question by Dr. Anurag. Vinod sir, is this regression line is based on Tableau?
I really don't know from who had prepared this plot. What is the technology behind this plot? I just got this picture from internet and I am pasting it here. No idea. No idea, sir.
Okay, sir.
So for mentioning this picture was to emphasize the regression line and what regression does. That was the purpose. So it is mentioned in the literature, official documents, that regression is bread and butter of data scientists. Bread and butter. Meaning thereby, without regression analysis, analysis is not completed. Whether it is for data scientists or for a routine analyst. Most of the time, a researcher is trying to evaluate impact of one phenomena on another phenomena. I am repeating the sentence. Most of the time, as you know that on an average, I evaluate 100 research papers per year for different conferences and seminars. So I have observed that almost more than 60% of the researchers or 70% of the researchers are doing impact analysis. Impact of this on this, impact of this on this. And this impact analysis is done primarily by regression analysis. And it means that regression analysis is unavoidable, is very much required for a researcher, because a researcher most of the time analyze the impact. From data scientist perspective, it is their bread and butter. From economics and econometrics point of view, if you refer the popular book on basics of econometrics by Gujarati, such a thick book, then right from first page to last page, it is nothing but only regression. So entire econometrics and economics is around regression. Impact analysis is around regression, about regression. It's very good that in this very wonderful FDP, you all are going to have one dedicated session on regression analysis. Cluster analysis, customers, say these are the customers and you are the manager, marketing manager, or employees, these are employees and you are the HR manager. These are suppliers and you are the supply chain logistic manager. These are products. Imagine that these are products and you are a chief of Hindustan Lever. You want to optimize, or you want to know that can we do categorization of products? Can we do categorization of customers on the basis of few parameters? Can we do categorization or grouping of suppliers from the supply chain or logistic perspective? This is going to be a very important thing for a manager to decide. And this is done through cluster analysis or segmentation analysis. I could see that there are two sessions on, one is on segmentation and one is on cluster analysis. My humble request to all participants, please learn cluster analysis from those sessions, because these are having tremendous practical relevance. Practical relevance. You learn today and you apply tomorrow. It is like that. And I will show you. I am getting very less chance to write research paper and to publish. But anyhow, made one research paper a few years before, 3-4 years before, where I had used this cluster analysis. And I thought that I must mention that you learn cluster analysis and apply, make a good research paper, and your research paper will be much appreciated. What we had done, we had collected the data from RBI handbook, which is very easily available, free of cost, easily available, and collect data from that book, RBI handbook. And we had collected the data on birth rate, state-wise, mortality rate, state-wise, availability of power, and length of roads. So we had picked 4 parameters for all the states of our country. And we wanted to see, can we segment, or can we form a cluster of Indian states? And then the result was amazing. When I saw the final outcome, I was having that wow feeling. I was bound to think that, oh my God, mathematical treatment is so accurate and so good. Let's look at it. See this black cluster. Look at the states: Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, West Bengal. And don't forget 4 parameters: birth rate, mortality rate, power availability, and road length. Length of roads is also a very good economic indicator. It indicates that how progressive the state is. So see very nicely Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Karnataka. Look at this basket. Your Rajasthan is here. Your Rajasthan means our Rajasthan. Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Meghalaya. Meghalaya seems to be misfit as per my very limited understanding, but see the cluster done by the process. Jharkhand, Bihar, Assam, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh. See the red cluster: Punjab, Delhi, Chandigarh, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Gujarat. I don't know from where Andhra Pradesh came to this basket, but anyway, Uttarakhand, Telangana. See how nicely the clustering has been done. And you can learn this. You are so lucky that you all are going to learn clustering, and that way learn that cluster analysis and apply to your research. Do a good analysis of the available data with you. Recommendation systems are going to be covered in this FDP. We all are, the moment we browse any website, we are bombarded by so many recommendations: buy a blue shirt, or buy shoes, Nike shoes, or Adidas shoes, or this tie or that tie. It's very good. That way this FDP is very advanced and progressive, that one dedicated session on recommendation systems has been included. Chatbots, these are the part of recommendation system. If these are the transactions, 5 transactions which are being shown here. See, in one transaction, somebody had purchased flowers, Get-Well card, and soda. I don't know why in this example soda was also purchased. In second, plush toy beer, flowers, balloons, and candy bar. And likewise, these are the 5 transactions. And based on the analysis of these transactions only, there is a very wonderful technique which is called market basket analysis. Very much needed by those who are from marketing background. That if somebody had purchased flowers, that what are the probability and what are the chances that the person will purchase candy bar or the person will purchase flowers. If a person have already purchased flowers, then what are the possibility or probability that he will purchase soda? Like that. Very wonderful analysis you can do. Text mining, few minutes before I had mentioned that around 80% of the data is text, non-numbers. And this is one example which is very interesting. Though with regard to text mining or text analysis, many examples can be cited, but this is something which is very funny and interesting also. My team members have collected, you want to say anything, Vinay?
Yes, sir. There was a question. Yeah, so Mr. Soma Sundaram has asked, which software was used to do this cluster analysis?
It can be done by Python and it can be done by R. In the example which you were seeing,
yes, sir.
In that it was R.
Okay, sir. So another question from my end. How do we create these word maps?
Word maps?
Yeah, the one you just shared.
So that is through Python.
Okay, sir.
So this word map now, this.
Yes, sir, this one.
Word cloud. This is through Python. And this is primarily Twitter analysis. So my team members have collected tweets from 19 March 20 till 18th August 2020. Team, take 1 minute time. Are you finding anything interesting here? Dr. Anurag sir, आप मत बोलिए क्योंकि आपको आंसर मालूम है. Hello team. Hello team, kindly look at this word cloud. Is there anything interesting you are able to find? 1 minute time. I am having only 5 minutes. Usha ji had already given me a signal.
So many of the words are not complete here.
Come again, please.
Many of the words written here are not complete. Some of the letters are missing.
Good.
It's a word cloud, sir. Like majorly words are used by the politicians during the speech, which are more influencing, I think.
Awesome. So see, this is the time when ma'am, mute all. So this is the time when US was on fire because of Corona. If you recall, March 20 was the first time when lockdown was imposed on our country also. And this is the duration, March 20 and August. This is the peak time when the first Corona wave was hitting US. This is the first time. And the entire world was shocked by the number of fatalities taking place in US. And this gentleman was tweeting and his tweets were collected. And you see, there is almost no mention of Corona. See, in his mind, it was only presidential, ballot, statue, military, governance or government. This gentleman was not at all bothered about his countrymen, what type of difficulties they were facing. This simple analysis of his tweets during this period reveals that he was least bothered about Corona. And these type of analysis you can do through text mining. And I was really very much surprised and happy when there was a dedicated session on text mining. This is one quote which one screenshot of my LinkedIn account, which I wanted to share. Steve Nori is an icon in AI. He's an icon like Andrew Neck, the way Andrew Neck is in data science. Similarly, Steve Nori is an icon. And in the month of May, his post says that the next big breakthrough will happen around language. It means text mining, around natural language processing. You all are so lucky participants that you are going to have dedicated session on text mining as well. So this is about whatever learning has been, or whatever packages or whatever sessions are planned. And that's very good that all participants then need to give a test or an exam. I believe if they don't score up to a particular cutoff, then a certificate will not be issued. Am I correct, Ushaji?
That's the AICTE norms.
But Dr. Ushaji, the question paper which you had shared with me is very tough. Kindly make some lighter question paper. You had made a very tough question paper. So there will be an exam, and we will request Dr. Usha to make a lighter question paper so that we all pass. But participants, please remember that exam will be there and you need to pass that exam, and that is a very good thing. Few things, how you will maximize this wonderful FDP. This FDP is really a premium one, a gifted one during this time. 5 full days. 5 full days. And on the technologies which are in very much demand, It is very difficult to get all these technologies or all these sessions at one place. So this is something great, really great. How you will maximize this? My humble suggestion is that please be like a student of class 6th. If possible, class 5th. Why? Because when you will come to student mode and when you will have the attitude of a student, then only learning will happen. So be like a student, take notes. I don't know how many of you are having a writing pad, and when I'm speaking since last 1.5 hours, how many we have taken notes, but it is always a good practice to take notes. So for all the sessions, please take notes, and after the session, please do practice. Be regular. See, regularity is very much essential for your learning. If you will not be regular, you will lose. It will be your loss. But if you will be regular, my God, you will be able to learn a great. Even if you're not liking a particular session, don't leave it. Because if you're not liking or enjoying a particular session, surely there is something which is very badly needed by you. We all are teachers. We know that. If a particular session or a particular subject, we are finding it difficult, it means there is something very special in that subject which we need it. So attend every session with great enthusiasm and great vigor, and be regular. Ask questions. I'm very much happy that there were few questions during this session. If you have any query related to sessions, I'm talking about technical queries. I'm not talking about administrative queries, that when the certificate will come or the certificate will be blue colored or a red colored. Those type of administrative questions you can ask through Dr. Usha separately. I'm talking about technical queries. If at all they are there, which are not sorted out during the session, write a mail to Dr. Usha ji, and we all resource persons will make sure that we will give reply within 48 hours. One very important thing, and this Dr. Prabhat had also mentioned, that we are, and I know Dr. Prabhat and Jaipuriya never does anything with a short-term vision or with a short-term goal. The vision and the goal is long-term. Association between you and us, between participants and the resource persons and the institute, should be a everlasting bond, should be a continuous, perpetual process. Dr. Prabhat said that you all are going to learn from resource persons, and the same way, resource persons are going to learn from you all. Many people think that on 9th, this FDP will be over. No, think other way around. On 9th, the real FDP will start. During these 5 days, you will get some introduction, some outline, some broader perspectives. Then you will practice. You will find some difficulties. Definitely you will find some difficulties. Be in touch with us and or with Dr. Usha for further guidance and for further progression. Try to utilize maximum out of this FDP. We are ready. I am very much sure you all are ready. Time to start learning. I should not take much time. I think that I have overshooted by 3 minutes. Thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you very much for those who have asked questions. Thank you very much for Dr. Prabhat for inviting me for this precious FDP on day 1, first session. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Best wishes from my side for this FDP. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Vinod sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank
you. We enjoyed like every time.
Thank you, sir.